You know, I talk about the mafia. There's so many stories. There's good ones. There's bad ones. There's, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's almost like that movie. I mean, so I like to spread it around and tell different stories. And when I started off in the mafia, I was in the Colombo family, and it was everything. Beat him up, shoot him, kill him, this, that, rob this guy, hijack that truck, do this. When I got to the Gambino family, it was a lot different. It was softer. They were talking about businesses. They were talking about unions. And I was with this guy, Toto Arello. I loved him like a father. He actually looked like my father. Same height, same build, same type of personality as my father. Taught me so many different things. I would sit in the backyard with the fig tree and the orange tree and the tomato plants, and he would chomp on a cigar, his pants rolled up, his nice shoes inside, galoshes, so that he wouldn't get wet, and he would hose these things and sit down and talk to me. And I was a pup. I was learning like a sponge. So he tells me different things about the mafia. And he tells me how they think about things, different things about their wives and their things. Now I know when a made guy has another made guy, it's his brother. So his wife is now our sister-in-law. His kids are our nieces and nephews. We have to look after them. We have to defend them with our life, if necessary. But he tells me this little story about Toto himself had a gumada. That's, in regular terms, that's a girlfriend. But it's above a girlfriend. It's almost like a second wife. He's got to run a sneak, and he's maybe paying her rent or doing whatever. It's his gumada. So he's in a restaurant in the neighborhood. I knew the restaurant, neighborhood joint. And he's with his gumada in the restaurant, sitting down, and he's eating. And the door opens up, and Carlo Gambino comes in, the boss of the family. And Carlo Gambino was truly the boss of bosses when he was in power. And he walked over to another table and sat down. In those days, you didn't recognize a person. He did not want to be recognized. You didn't say, hey, Carlo. You didn't do anything like that. You didn't send him a drink. You would just look and give a slight nod of your head. He understood that that's thank you. And he would do that as well. So the other people in the restaurant didn't know you even knew each other. So one of the guys got up from the table, Toto was telling me, walked over to Toto and says, hey, Toto, how are you? Shook his hand. What's your girlfriend's name? Rosie? Yeah, Rosie's her name. He says, hi, Rosie. He introduced himself. He said, Toto, go sit in the empty chair over there. The empty chair was right next to Carlo Gambino. So Toto got up and he walked over and sat next to Carlo Gambino, boss of bosses. Hey, Carl, how are you? Good, Toto, how are you? Good, I'm doing very good. Who's that? Your gumana? Yeah, Rosie's her name. Oh, beautiful girl, really beautiful girl. So let me ask you a question, Toto. Do you come here often? Oh, yeah. I love this place. It's great. You come here with your wife? Yeah, on occasion. He says, what do you think these people say when they see you with your gumana and then they see you with your wife? What do you think they say? Oh, no, they're not going to say nothing. No, I know they're not going to say nothing. They're afraid of you. They won't say nothing. Of course they won't. I'm not talking about to your face or publicly. When you walk out, what do you think? They're humans. What do you think they say? Oh, look at Rosie, so much better looking than his wife. And he's got his wife and his girlfriend, and they'll talk. They don't mean no harm, but they'll talk about it. Well, I never really looked at it that way. He said, let me ask you another question. Do you love your wife? Of course, Carl. Of course I love my wife. He says, do you love me? Of course I love you, Carl. Carlo Gambino slowly turned around to him and told him, I hope you don't love me like you love your wife. Get up and go sit with her. So the moral of the story for you people who don't understand that is that if you don't have love and respect for your own wife, how could you have respect for me? If you can't show her respect. Now, Carlo Gambino and myself, we're men, we're dogs a little bit. We understand it. But you can't go over the bridge to Jersey, to this restaurant with this, put a little shade on it, or do you have no respect for your wife? That's what the moral of the story is. Now, I'm going to leave, go get my gumara. No, I don't have a gumara. I really don't have a gumara. But that's the moral of the story. Learning these things about the mafia is important. It was very, very important to me because I love my wife. I love my kids. And I didn't want to bring no shame to my wife. I didn't want to bring no shame to my kids. So I understood that story loud and clear. And now I'll tell you, adios, amigo.